we are going to talk about DJ Akademiks' thoughts on sports media, and basically saying that sports media is not what it used to be. It's not very good anymore. It's watered down. That it's not really about. No one really goes to traditional sports media anymore. Everyone is just checking out players, individual shows and programs themselves, because that's where the real insight and the real meat and potatoes is. And he even cited Skip Bayless as like sort of the impetus for the downfall of traditional sports media, ESPN, and the like. So this says DJ Akademiks blames the downfall of ESPN on Skip Bayless. As DJ Akademiks watches rap star turned podcaster Cameron's sit down interview with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, he claims Skip Bayless is responsible for ESPN's alleged downfall in sports media. Big Act claims ESPN or Skip Bayless did not conduct the Tyson Paul interview. In a clip of him commenting on the interview, Act mentioned Skip saying ESPN just completely fall into shit. And I'm going to be honest with you, the fall of Skip Bayless was the pivot of sports media to podcast, because I'm shocked this face-off didn't take place on ESPN. DJ Akademiks elaborated, I listen to Gilbert Arenas and I listen to usually former players sitting around nothing that resembles a sports desk. They're just chilling, talking about not necessarily play-by-play, but they're talking about it in a barbershop sense. But it's way more engaging. I listen to Cameron and Mase talk about sports, tell their own personal stories, and relate them to the everyday man. Nobody wants to sit around with the highlights playing around them. It's like, yo, watch the games on your own time. You got Cameron with chains on. Skip Bayless ended Undisputed, his long-running Fox Sports talk show, in August. The show featured an original theme song by Lil Wayne. During the show's 8-year run, Wayne appeared many times. Popular sports analyst Shannon Sharpe was Bayless's former co-host before leaving for ESPN's First Take with Stephen A. Smith in 2023. Skip and Stephen A. were also former co-hosts before they split in 2016. The two have discussed the breakup several times over the years. So here is Ack speaking on the downfall of sports media and how it's all Skip Bayless's fault.
Come on now.
Come on, guy. You can do it. All right. Let me hit the refresh.
Refresh.
That's always that always happens with these Twitter embeds. All right, here we go.
Yeah, man. That's your boy, Elon.
Completely fall into shit. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like these days, when it comes to sports, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think the fall of Skip Bayless was the pivot of sports media to podcasts. Like, I listen to Gilbert Arenas, and I listen to usually former players just sitting around, nothing that looks like a sports desk. They're just chilling, but they're talking about not necessarily play-by-play. They're talking about sports like in a barbershop sense, but it's way more engaging, right? I listen to Cameron and Mase talk about sports and tell their own personal stories and, you know what I mean, kind of related to the regular man. And this is why I think that, you have somebody like Stephen A. He's been pushing his podcast a lot, and you see him a lot more commenting on, politics. I think he wants to get to late night eventually, but it does feel like sports media is kind of dead, bro. Like, nobody wants to just sit around with highlights playing in the background and whatever. It's like, yo, watch the games on your own time if you want to watch it, or just come watch our conversation about the game. And I do think that Cam and Mase are a part of that, because I'm shocked that this face-off didn't take place at ESPN. Like, back in the day, could you imagine this not being at ESPN? Could you imagine some of these boxing guys not being a part of it? Yo, it's Cameron Giles with the jury, my nigga.
Same question to you.
All right. Interesting stuff there from a remarkably lucid DJ Akademiks. So What do you think of what he said there? Do you think that do you chart the fall of Skip Bayless to the fall of sports media, or do you agree with him in general that sports media is dead? What do you make of what he said there?
I mean, I guess you can probably make that correlation as far as Skip Bayless's decline is also just a symbol of the decline of viewership overall with these sports gas bags. Yeah, dude. So the likes of him and Jason Whitlock or who else? Stephen A.
Rob Parker.
Rob Parker and them. Now, Stephen A. he knows how to go viral. He's trying to transcend, as Akademiks mentioned. That's why he's got his own podcast. Skip had his own podcast, but Skip ain't it. He never was. He always needed the talent to carry him across the finish line. So Stephen A., I don't want to call him box office, but the guy knows how to get clicks and views. So he knows what the hell he's doing when it comes to that. So I would say he's going to survive this transition because he knows how to make headlines. Same thing with Shannon Sharp. As much as people want to throw dirt on his name, as much as he gets himself into scandals, the guy is box office. Everybody knows Shannon Sharp at this point. Women who've never watched a lick of football, they know damn well who Shannon Sharp is. And so he knows how to carry himself. He knows how to do his career. So at this point, the traditional forms of sports media, yeah, I agree, man. It is a dying format, but it's not because, well, it definitely is because of Skip Bayless. He definitely has something to do with it, with all this debate crap. And hot take after hot take garbage. It went away from analyzing the game and having actual sports conversation to what's the most clickbaity thing I can say, what's the hottest take I can give, what's really going to knock people off their square whenever I'm talking about this athlete. And it just became all sensationalism, and it went away from the game that we were sitting there watching ourselves. So right now, all those other shows that are still floating around on Fox Sport, on ESPN, whenever I am catching a clip on TikTok or something, it's just hot takes. It's just hot takes. It's just saying something that's going to rage bait me into a comment. And it's like, look, bro, just talk sports, dude. So I can listen to your boy Cowherd. I can listen to him, but not so much because he can get a little witchy jiggy too. But I would rather listen to him talk because he still somewhat keeps it sport, even though he's a jackass at time on purpose for the clickbaitiness. So I think the contrast to what he was talking about with Gilbert Arenas and what Cameron and them are doing is they just talking about the game and they being normal about it. They'll say something spicy here or there, especially Gil. But for the most part, man, they just talking about the sport itself. And it's not this media machine, hot take, fake ass, non-authentic conversations that's going on. So I think the people are moving more towards authenticity and less away from these dinosaur machines that are just stuck in their ways. So yeah, I tend to agree with this. And I think Skip's decline and ultimate fall off is a reflection of that because he had the game in a chokehold 10 years ago. So what are your thoughts, sir, on DJ Akademiks weighing in on sports media saying that, hey, man, it's pretty much dead nowadays? Do you agree with that, sir?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't really watch any shows on ESPN anymore. Now that if I think about it, I'll put First Take on because it's just a part of my morning routine. But in terms of the shows that I actually pay attention to, it's like two of them. So his overall point that sports media is dead, I kind of agree with that. Whether it's Skip Bayless's fault though, that's where I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that. Like I think Skip Bayless is the godfather of sports opining in the gas bagging form. I think him, and Stephen A. Smith together, the renaissance, not the renaissance, but the peak was First Take, when it was him and Stephen A. Smith on First Take. That was the peak. I believe that it was when it was Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith doing First Take together that other networks started to copy that formula at that point. Because prior to them, there were debate shows. There was PTI, for example, but nobody was really copying that. I don't think that started to get copied until Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. So I think that both of them together ushered in this era of sports opining, gas bagging. But I don't think that Skip Bayless is responsible for it falling off. I think people deciding to create their own platform for themselves so that they're not underneath the yoke of corporate ESPN and Disney, right? That's one of the reasons why. And then the other reason why it fell off is putting people on TV who aren't good on TV. Like, if you don't put talented people on, your product is going to suffer. So when you, for example, when First Take decides, because Stephen A. Smith runs ESPN apparently, when First Take decides that it's going to have a better show by getting rid of Max Kellerman and replacing him with random people like Jeff Saturday and Dan Orlovsky, you made the show worse. And look, I'm not taking anything away from those people, but Kellerman is better at television than them, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So watching First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman going back and forth was more engaging than looking at Stephen A. Smith and a different person every other segment, every other day. Like, I'm less engaged. It's less interesting to me. You made the show worse. When you as a network decide that you're going to lay off people like Max Kellerman, you're making your shows worse. When you get rid of interesting people, you're making your stuff worse. No disrespect, but NBA, the NBA show, you're making all of these strategic decisions. You want to downsize people like Tim Legler, for example, and give people like Kendrick Perkins more airtime. Look, Kendrick Perkins is what he is. Is he great on TV? In my opinion, no. Paul Pierce, is he great on TV? No. Tracy McGrady was better at TV than Paul Pierce. I don't know what happened that made Tracy McGrady not be on ESPN anymore. But when you downgrade your on, it's going to lead in a decline. It's going to lead to a decline in the product. The shows, in my opinion, on ESPN are worse because the people that they put on TV are, in my opinion, are worse at TV. So Fox, in my opinion, is better, not because they have better segments or better concepts for shows, but because they have more people who are better at TV than them. So as much as Nick Wright gets on my nerves, he's better at TV than Mike Greenberg, or some of these other people. As much as Emmanuel Acho might, be a little high and mighty from time to time with his highfalutin sports opinions. He's better at TV to me than Chineo Gumakwe.
I don't know, bro.
No, he is.
I'd rather listen to Malik Andrews talk than your boy.
I wouldn't.
Acho.
I
can't stand Acho.
I can't. I don't like any of those. The Chineo Gumakwe and Richard Jefferson. They need to get rid of that whole thing. The whole thing, they need to blow it up. Now, Fox does have its lowlights. I can't watch Speak. It's a terrible show. Keyshawn Johnson is terrible on TV. Paul Pierce is terrible on TV. Poor Joy Taylor is trying to hold it together because she's the only one on that show who's good on TV. But Paul Pierce talking football is horrendous. Keyshawn talking basketball is horrendous. And then they put Michael Irvin on there, who is what he is. He's just a character. But if you put people on who aren't good on TV, your product is going to suffer, is my overall point. So at that point, yeah, I can understand why people who are already cord cutters to begin with and aren't watching cable anyway, are going to hit up YouTube or Instagram and watch Cameron and Mase because, you know, at least they're entertaining and engrossing on TV. Their sports opinions might not be as highfalutin as Stephen A. Smith's, but at least they're going to be entertaining on TV or your computer screen. So I get it. I get it. You know, same thing with Gil and his show. I can understand why people gravitate towards that because they have the kinds of conversations, even if I disagree with them, that you and I would have about sports.
Agreed.
And they speak on it in the same tone. And so I get it. I get it. Whereas when you're under the yoke of corporate Disney and ESPN and Fox, there are certain things you can't say. There are certain opinions you can't have. And if you want to go out on a limb and express those opinions, here comes the fine and the suspension. But when you're on your and the apology, right? But when you're on your own show, you don't have to be contrite. You don't have to issue an apology. You're not going to get suspended for something that's not really that offensive. You're not. You still going to be able to show up to work tomorrow. So all the way around, I can understand how the dynamics in play necessitate the fall of traditional sports media and how putting people who are bad on TV also necessitates the fall of sports media. But when it comes to traditional sports media, if you put better people back on TV, it'll be better. But they won't do that because I guess they think they're too big to fail. And I guess in their minds, the more Kendrick Perkins, the better. But I'm turning the channel.
Now, and I was a big fan of, you know, former athletes coming on and, you know, getting a segment here, getting a segment there. But I really felt like sports journalism needed to be left to people who were trained on media, like their whole life, you know, that they were training their whole time to get here. And those were the people that could carry these types of conversations or talk about the game or what have you. But then have the players who actually played as guests and have them come in. And if they prove themselves whenever they got that spot up shot, that, hey man, this person deserves to be on the team, then fine. I've seen guys like Jason Kelsey, for instance. I mean, Hall of Famer, that's great. He's a Kelsey, that's stupendous. He's a cool guy, I'm sure of it. You know, he has a podcast show where he's doing, you know, numbers over there with his, you know, with his brother, but he sucks at TV. Like he just retired. Like, how much media training did he get to sit here and actually be live on TV? Like,
none.
That's what I'm saying. So them just dropping people in there just drives down the quality of things. Like, have these, I'm sorry, bro, go in the chamber and learn how to do this for real. But they don't do that, and then they just throw anybody out there, and they just started doing any damn thing. That's what they did with Kendrick Perkins. From what, you know, Kendrick Perkins, just get up there and just tap dance for us real quick, and he'll do whatever they ask him to do. Say whatever the hell. It don't have to make sense. Just say something. And that's what Kendrick Perkins, the whole ESPN damn crew. So I really think, so no, I don't think that Skip Bayless himself is the fault. I don't think that. But I do think that his fall was a reflection of, well, A, Shannon Sharpe leaving, but also B, that he couldn't even stay afloat, because if Shannon Sharpe left him and he had no Shannon Sharpe or Stephen A. Smith 10 years ago, the market was still wherever it was at for him to still be floating around. But there's so many options now that are out there that are direct to consumer, and that, like we mentioned, there's just a lot more down earth and chill. So I don't think Skip Bayless himself is the reason why it collapsed or is falling, but I think his fall is like a benchmark where we can go, see, this is where it started to take its turn, for like more people are tuning into this type of stuff than the traditional forms of media, because if there were no other forms, people would have had no choice but to sit there and listen to Skip like they did 10, 15 years ago. So yeah, I'm glad there's other options out there. I'm glad you guys log on to the caucus approach whenever we decide to talk about sports or whatever here. We be chilling and stuff, and I think people like the chilling conversations over the gas baggy hot takes garbage that's going on nowadays. On top of the censorship and stuff that you said too, man. Because yeah, man, you gotta appease. You gotta stroke egos. Everybody's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, there's an excuse for everything. I can't stand listening to them. And they cape for the players so much. Like I was trying to watch, this was like trying to watch JJ Redick call NBA games. I couldn't stand it. And the only thing he would sit there and do is cape for the players. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 and just say the dumbest stuff. But, so I can't, none of it, bro. I now mute. I don't even listen to announcers. Unless it's, I mean, I can even listen to, what's his name? Breen. I can't even listen to Bang no more because he be on air with goofballs now. So the only person that I would listen to is Kirk Herbstreit. And what's that guy name? Golly, it escapes me. Is it Kevin Hartman or something like that? Something Hartman. Got his name. Kevin Harlan. God damn it. Kevin Harlan, he is the man.
He's a play-by-play guy, yeah.
Yeah, I'll listen to him call any damn game.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, man, I'm with it. I'm with the shift, man, into podcasting. I'm with
No, yeah, I can totally understand it. I'm still a traditional media guy.
Yeah.
So, outside of viral clips, I'm not gonna see what Gil said unless it shows up on my viral feed, or I'm not gonna see what Cam and Mase said unless it shows up on my viral feed. But I understand the shift. I do, because it's just become so watered down, and there's just a lot of forces at work diminishing what used to be regular sports media. And I think the two main things are people who produce content no longer want to be under the yoke of a corporate structure where you have to abide by a million different rules, and you can't say this and you can't say that, and this is offensive, and this you got to apologize for, and all of this other BS. So they just go and have their own platform. And then also just, not putting people who are good in media, as you said, on television. That's an important thing. Like, yeah, you can't take somebody fresh off of retirement and stick them on TV. But that's what these networks do, because they're just trying to cash in on the cachet of these people's names. And whether they're actually good at the job or not is secondary.
Right.
And honestly, I think it pays off, unfortunately, because I think most people are just like, ooh, Jason Kelsey's on TV. I only think it's the people like me and you who are sitting around saying Jason Kelsey's not actually good for television.
Yeah, no, we're hating.
Yeah. I think we're in the minority. I think we're in the minority on that. But I'm with you. I do. But I'm with you on that. I do think that that's the reason why it has declined, why it continues to decline, and I totally get it. I'm gonna just start my own channel. I completely see a world where if Stephen A. Smith doesn't become the highest paid person at ESPN because that's what he wants, and he currently isn't, that he'll just say, okay, well, I'm not gonna sign another contract, and I'll just do the Stephen A. Smith show full time. And he'll just figure it out from there, and maybe he'll make a lot more money, and he'll basically get to just say and do whatever he wants at that point, which he can't do now, because as big as he is, he's still subjected to this corporate BS. So, no one wants to be, restrained by those shackles. We'll see how it turns out, but I hear exactly what Akademiks is saying. I still watch this, but I know that I'm in the minority. I know that most people have moved away, and they're like fully on the internet now.
Yeah, it's like you out there picking up the newspaper. You still reading the newspaper, man. It's like
I'm a Betamax, bro. Yeah. I'm a beta. I don't have the concentration. I don't have the attention span to grab my phone and sit there watching.
Nah, man, you're a good man. Stay over there, bro. Don't be over here with these brain rot people over here where I'm at, bro. I'm trying to get up out this matrix, man, but I'll be all on my phone all day long, man.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Shouts out to Akademiks. Shouts out to Cam and Mase. Shouts out to all of the. Again, a theme for this stream for me has been shouting out and bigging up creatives, independents.
That's right.
I feel for these people, man. So shouts out to Cam and Mase, even Gilbert Arenas in his show. Shouts out to all the comedians out there, all the original creators out there creating your own stuff. Y'all are the real MVP as long as you're not putting foolishness out there, of course.
That's right.
And good luck, man. I really do want to see y'all succeed out here in these streets. But that'll go ahead and do it for tonight's stream. Another fantastic one in the books. JV Wins, Dogon, as always. Check me out, Instagram, JV Wins, JVWINS. Check out Conscious Approach on Instagram, CONAPPROACH. We are out here. Check us out on all of these channels. Download the podcast wherever you get your podcast. We are uploading the files as we speak. Looking forward to the receptiveness and the feedback therein. Until next time, man, as I always like to say, have a mind for yourself, think for yourself, don't be a group thinker. Not a good sports year, but we'll be better next year. We'll be right back at it. And I didn't give you nothing for losing last week. It's all good. Y'all still playoff bound, so it's all good. There ain't gonna be no undefeated teams this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, everybody stay safe out there. Be respectful to your next person. Think for yourself. And until next time, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let us know what you think. We'll catch you on the next video.
Yeah. And the name is Dogon SS. You can find me on Instagram at Dogon_SS, on YouTube, DraftKings, TikToks, any of your social media platforms out there. I'm out there at Dogon_SS. Send me a like, send me a follow. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and subscribe or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? I'll be out here. I'll most likely do the same if you're not a bot. All right. And as I say on every pod, guys, all right, don't be too high, don't be too low. Keep it calm, keep it chill, keep it real. And don't let anybody get you off your pivot. And I also like to say, guys, thank you for hitting that like and subscribe. Thank you for leaving them comments, as JV Wynn said. He says it, but I would also like to give out my gratitude and thanks, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all give us the strength, you know what I'm saying, to come out here and crush it for another week. So greatly appreciate y'all. It doesn't go unnoticed. And if y'all do like our videos on the little standalone vibe, come join us on a Tuesday, though. We be doing it every Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment in there. We'll read it out. You know what I'm saying? Have a little interaction going on. But until next time, everybody, more rings of Robert Orton. We'll catch y'all on the flip side.
That's right, baby. We are out of here. We will see y'all later. Stay safe. Peace, baby.
Hey, go Birds. Go Birds. Undefeated. Hey, bro, I gave it to myself, bro. You ain't have to say nothing.